my first vlog. This is going to be a range day vlog. So, I'm not going to take you through the entire day because not everybody's going to sit through these things, right? So, anyways, I'm going to be doing a tactical range day vlog, and it's going to be focused on the pistol. I'm going to be working on my draw and my reloads. Now, my draw is pertaining to the fact that I'm going to be using a rifle primarily, so obviously going from rifle to pistol, that kind of draw. And then reloads, I'm going to be working from the mags on my plate carrier. So, anyways, I usually start out my mornings at 6 o'clock or maybe even earlier if I just can't sleep the entire night. Sometimes even from 3 o'clock in the morning I'll get started. You know, I'll have my coffee and I'll work on some technical skills. But because it's a range day, I'm going to be going very light on the technical skills, if at all. So I'm not working on any technical skills because this is more of a qualifier to see if my training yesterday, I really was hard on myself yesterday, mixing my technical skills with my physical training, which I don't like to do. I actually like to treat them, keep them separate, but I'm making sure that the stuff that I was working on yesterday actually, you know, got ingrained really well, and that it became a habit. It became solid procedural memory. So that's what I'm going to be testing today. So it's not really working on a timer. So I'm only going to be actually firing 72 rounds today. So yeah, so I started out with some coffee this morning at about 7:30, so I actually slept in a little bit, and then I read. I read a book that I'm working on right now, and it's about 600 pages. It's like a Bible, but it's actually a pretty interesting book. Don't agree with everything, but never will. But with that said, I'm going to be doing stretches next, so I figured I would go ahead and start the vlog. So I'm going to be doing stretches. It's very important that you're always doing stretches when you're handling your firearms, because you should be putting in a good amount of grip strength and actually holding that firearm as hard as you can without, you know, moving the gun or trembling it, or basically getting to the point where you can't hold the firearm still. So anyways, stretching is a very big thing, so I'm going to work on that, and I'll take you guys through and talk to you guys about the different stretches, even though I made a video on it. Okay, so first thing, I fill up the bathtub just enough to get the water over the top of my hands, and yeah, I don't know why I put my range clothes on when I still got to do this, but this is actually pretty warm water. It's almost too warm. It's almost too hot, so I kind of feel like a lobster. My hands are probably going to reflect that by turning all red and stuff. But I like to do my stretches in warm water. I will ice throughout the day when I'm training, and I'll ice this area on my wrist, which is one of the biggest things when you're gripping something, and back here. So when you're gripping a pistol, you need to make sure that you're also icing your hands and like holding a frozen bottle of water or something, because this area can get pretty bruised, pretty unhappy with the way you're treating it, and this one, it'll build up calluses. So soaking your hands is a pretty good idea. So that's what I like to do, and that's what I'm doing here. And I'm also stretching out the back here and the front, so just doing little stretches here and here, and just rocking back and forth, and also soaking my hands to kind of get the heat into the tendons. And it's also getting up into here where the bones are, so it's kind of warming up the joints there, and you want to take care of them. So this is like a nightly routine, and you know, on a range day I'll do it again in the morning, and it really helps the hands, you know, stay in good condition, because you don't want to mess up your hands when you're actually working with them a lot, especially if you're serious about shooting or you do a lot of competition shooting. You need to treat your hands really well, because you don't want your nerves to get all messed up, and you don't want your joints to get all messed up from doing all this practice and all this work, and just for it to fall apart through your nervous system. So yep, that's pretty much it. It's just little varieties of this way, and then that way, just getting little stretches in while having it exposed to warm water. So yeah, that's all it is really with stretching and soaking. So a pretty vital thing for actual range days is take it easy, do your stretches, soak your hands, baby your hands a little bit, and treat them well, because they're going to be doing all the work. So that does it for the hand soaking and the beginning of the stretches. So I still need to do more stretches. However, a little bit of a change is I'm not going to do the range sprints right now. I will go outside and I will take my dogs with me and get them outside so they can get some exercise, and I'll kick the ball around for my one dog, and I'll do some warm-up that way, but I need to really keep it low because I'm actually feeling a lot of the pain in my back and stuff like that. I'm feeling a lot of the work that I did yesterday, and I don't want to make things worse necessarily because I still have PT to do today. My rushes, my isometrics, and my lifts. The rushes are going to be really hard, but it's going to be for building procedural memory and getting an idea of what the weight transfer is going to be, and the limitations is going to be wearing gear. So I'm not really going to be wearing a plate carrier on top of it. The gear gets in the way more than the plate carrier does, but yeah. Anyways, it's always good to have that on so you know what you're going to be dealing with initially. So with that said, I'm going to omit the range run or range sprint or whatever until later. So now we're going to go and take the dogs out to play a little bit. The most important thing to ask yourself is, who wants to go outside? Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, she's ready. Yep. Yeah. How fun. Drop it. No? Q. Drop it. No? Drop it. Q. Good girl. All right. You're not helping yourself here. You're not helping your playtime. Q. Q. Stop it. Thank you. Oh my God. Alright, you're seeming pretty worn out, huh? Yeah, right. Hey, old girl. You having fun? Yeah? Are you ready to go inside, old girl? Yeah? You want to go inside? Let's go inside. You're ready to go inside, right? Yeah. You're ready? Okay. How about you, Ronnie? You ready? Yeah. Rami, come on, boy. Ruth, come on. Come on. Good girl. Let's go. Let's go inside. It's time. Come on. All right. Good. Now it's time to get myself ready for the range. First thing to get on is the LBD. I don't have any loaded magazines in this. It's just empty mags, just to provide a structural, reference. Gotta get the beanie out of the pocket. Alright. There we go. So yeah, got magazines in here, and got my holster. And I got pistol, no magazines inserted at the moment. Wait for the range. And now get on the plate carrier and move this thing up. This SFU is very much like the old school BDUs, but angle pockets and stuff like that. So, a little bit better in some cases, but still just a generic work uniform, I guess. Hey, pup. Hey, pup. You really interested in me gearing up? You're ready to go down to the range, aren't you? Yep, not right now. Okay. So get this collar up. It's not really a hot brass protector. It's more of a friction protector. So, yeah, this is kind of odd for a lot of people because they want to see the plate carrier under the vest, and that's actually not really necessary. So, you know, this is just basically a glorified battle belt that does everything. So, if I didn't want a pistol, I would just put an ammo pouch here. So, I would just have more ammo. And then, of course, got my AUG with the mag in it, and sheet clear. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab my ammo. So I already have these things loaded, and yeah. So check this out. I did a little modification yesterday. Basically took 550 cord and I just tied a couple of knots, and then I used a lighter and I basically just melted it into one solid piece of nylon, so it's something to grab onto when I have my gloves on, because that can be very hard to feel this if you're wearing gloves. So, you know, it's basically something that I can grab onto that's really easy. It's like a little knob or whatever that I can just grab onto. So, yep, not really a big fan of Velcro, but it is what it is. So, now, go down to the range. Something is telling me my knees are not going to like me after this. So, I might have to actually forego doing my PT afterwards, unfortunately, because I can already feel it in my legs. But I will be doing it with less gear, so we'll just see. But I still got to do a range sprint, and I was thinking about doing it in the carrier, but since I haven't done it in a while, you know, I could just do it, you know, relatively bare, so, you know, with just the uniform on or whatever. So it's kind of slick out, so it probably won't be within a minute. So anyways, okay, time to run through it. The procedural memory that I've been trying to build is basically, you know, having the slide lock backed in, indicate like a malfunction or whatever. So basically I'll get a dead trigger. So get a dead trigger and then go to cover, and I'm going to start out with this first magazine of just taking a knee, and I know my knee's going to hate me, but I don't know how soft this is. It could be soft enough to where it's not going to hurt all that much, but I'm just going to be shooting at my steel targets. They're about 7 yards away right now, so it should be fine. Just 2 rounds, and it's going to be my reload, so it's going to get a bit snappy. So, you know, we'll see how I do. But yeah, yesterday I came out and shot just to see how the recoil was on my reloads. Just do a recoil test, and that was after I did everything, and I did not do all that well because my hands were shaking. Like, all the trigger pulls that I was doing, my forearms were worn out, so that's why it's important that you do stretches. So anyways, we're going to take this slow on the procedural memory part of it. So, yeah, a bit snappy. So, whew. But not that bad. I was actually only this far away from, the 2 shots were only that far away from each other. Nice centerline hit, so I'll go for the smaller target. Not bad at all. Guess my body likes this recoil. So, there we go. Don't get in the habit of using the bolt release, as it can snag on things when you're doing your reloads or whatever. There we go. Nice. Sweet. There we go. Got a brass to the head. Nice. Probably got like 1 more left. There we go. Ah. That magazine slipped right out of my hand. That wasn't nice. So now I'm going to be doing this where I'm simulating shooting my rifle over this cover right here. Now this is obviously lower than it would normally be because I'm standing on like 2 feet of snow, or a foot of snow or something like that. But I'm just going to use it to my advantage. I can actually, shoot from here, and then I'll do my transition going from the kneeling and, shooting from behind this barrier, so I'm going to have to lean out a little bit. So I'll be aiming at the silhouette target for the first shot, and then the next 2 shots will be at my small circular target. So anyways, let's see if I fumble with my reload again and actually, whack myself in the face again. That has never happened to me before. And I missed. There we go. That was solid grip, solid everything that I wanted to see. There we go. That was absolute crap. But yeah, I completely missed that last shot. It went way low to the left. That was crap. But that's what happens. My muscles aren't doing all that well, and I'm not getting very much strength in my hands right now, but that's why I'm a bit slow, so whatever. It's all about procedural memory, so I'm doing the procedure right. It's just pulling the trigger without moving the gun. It's kind of difficult to do over and over and over again. So yeah, I'll just stick to the silhouette, but I'm going to move to another barrier. So for this barrier, I'm already shooting around cover in a low cover area, so I'll have my rifle up, and then I'll be transitioning to a pistol from an already kneeled position. So I gotta move this tire over because this barrier is lower than it usually is. So just have to move the tire over to add a little bit more height to be where it usually is. So anyways, let's get started. Now I gotta make sure that I got enough clearance, because I don't right now. So starting from here, transition. There we go. A good 3. Go to the circle target. Yep, I missed that one. Not bad. Alright. So now I know I'm on like my last run, so I gotta fill this up with ETS mags, and then I can work on my reloads. So from a kneeling position, if I'm already in the kneeling or already behind cover and I have to transition to a pistol, pretty solid on that. Going from standing to kneeling, transitioning to a pistol, not so much. It's not going to be all that quick, but going from around a barrier, you have a little bit of time to take a little bit of a breather, I guess you could say. But typically if you're transitioning to a pistol, Charlie's in the bush and they're pretty close, so I'm shooting further than would probably be normal. So it's about 10 yards away, 15 yards away, so it is what it is. But I'm shooting at targets that are like yay big, so yep. No big deal. So anyways, I've got 1 round left in the pistol, so I'm going to just start my reloads here. 16 round mags, and I'm just going to be following it up with 2 shots out of this magazine, and then yeah, we'll just keep going from there. So it's going to practice the reloads, and that's pretty much it. So I've already transitioned from my rifle to my pistol in this situation. So I engage with the pistol, and then I conduct a reload and, you know, engage again with 2 rounds. So let's get on it. Solid, not bad at all. So then I just do, you know, a quick swap there, put the mag back in, and again. There we go, nice and solid. Sweet. Again. Alright. And we just keep going like this. And it's only 72 rounds that I'm doing all together, so it goes pretty quick. Yep, that hit like pretty much in the same spot. So, not bad at all. So I'm hitting my circle target pretty easily, so there we go. We got 2 rounds left overall, so I'm gonna have to perform a reload and then fire 1 round from my next magazine. So once I'm done with this magazine, so yep, 2 reloads in a row. So 1 round from this mag, 1 from this, and then another from the other mag. Damn. Let's do 2. There we go. It's not the fastest. It's not as fast as I had it going yesterday, but whatever. It'll do. It's all about testing that procedural memory, making sure that I got the process down properly, and making sure that my rifle is not interfering. But it wants to. This is gonna spit in my face again, all the snow. Alright. I am leaning this whole time right now in full gear, so this knee is feeling the pressure. It's not really hurting, it's just feeling the pressure, and the muscles are too from keeping this balance, so I'm almost done though. There we go. I'll just fire this until it's done with, because I'm pretty solid on my memory right now. Alright. Well, I think I'll just take this time to, you know, conduct another repetition. Since I got 2 rounds left in this mag, might as well go out doing everything properly, right? For the most part. So, that was pretty smooth. I mean, my recoil control can always be better. My wrists are not doing all that well as far as strength from yesterday. I really beat the heck out of my wrists yesterday, so yeah, it's not doing all that great. And at any time now, FedEx should be coming with my sights for this the steel sights, so I can get these polymer sights out of here. So that'll be nice, but we're done. Now that I got all my gear off, I'll just talk to you guys about my cool down routine or my remedial routine. After a range day, I like to keep a mental note of everything that goes wrong out there. And one of the big things was that my forearms are messed up as far as, well, not messed up as in, you know, an injury, but they're just weak. And so I had problems like gripping the magazines. I had to actually be very conscious of the magazines. I couldn't just whip them out and do a reload. I tried to, and I whacked myself in the face, as you probably saw. It was a light one, so it didn't really hurt, but it was just like, I can't believe that just happened. So anyways, what I like to do after the range, whether or not I actually messed up on something, is I actually like to perform my trigger pull drills. So it's basically a part time of 0.6 seconds. And I step it back about, and I basically make the time 1.5 times whatever time I'm originally working with. Like if I was working on 0.6 seconds, I'd just do 1.5 times that. So it would be like 0.9 seconds. So I would slow it down to give my body the ability to still perform the proper repetition, and to do it properly, but to relax a little bit, kind of like a cool down, but to still improve that procedural memory, and you're continuing to train your body and your brain. That's a big deal. So I'll just give you guys an example of what it looks like. I already did this twice, but this is what it looks like. Finger straighten off the trigger, and you're basically aiming in, getting a solid grip. The first beep is just letting you start. And you don't have to get it by the second beep. The first beep is just a start. Think of this as a window. So it's a window to keep in the back of your head. The first beep you're using to initiate your repetition. And the second beep is just like something you keep in the back of your head, like, okay, I'm pulling the trigger every time before the second beep goes off, and I'm not even moving the gun off the intended impact. So I'm doing everything perfectly, but the goal here is to not make any waste. As you notice, the goal here is to not make any waste. This total thing, thing is like 1 minute and 32 seconds to do this whole workout, I guess you could say, because it's keeping you within that time frame, so you have to reset and just get right back on it. And the goal here is you're not wasting any time. You're not going intentionally slow. You are just allowing your body to go as fast as it can go without moving. That's why you're allowing 1.5 times whatever the normal time is that you break, which for me is 0.4 of a second. I don't feel comfortable trying to force myself to do that right now because I did not perform very well at the range, so I'm recovering by slowing it down a little bit. And that feels like an eternity for me, but I'm just running through the normal motions to get proper procedural memory of isolating this movement right here to where I'm not having sympathetic movement from these other 3 fingers. So that's the goal, or 4 fingers really, but that's the goal for me, is a good cool down. Yesterday was really hard on me as far as like the workouts I was doing, because most of it had to do with actually using grip and wearing out my forearms and stuff like that. And I went a little bit overboard with it, and I was doing a lot of repetitions that actually, it actually still hurts today in a lot of areas that I actually needed in order to be able to hit my targets every time, because I'm upset that I missed my target at all. And so that's definitely something I need to work on, is pulling the trigger without moving the gun, despite any kind of fear, and not trying to rush it, because I was trying to rush it on some of them, because it's like, why is it taking me so long to pull the trigger? Well, it's because my sights weren't stable. My shoulders were messed up from yesterday's workout. Like the amount of isometric work and just the shoulder work that I was doing, and how long I was holding up firearms all day. I was doing hundreds of repetitions, and this is just 25 repetitions for 1 minute and 30 seconds. You're holding up the pistol and holding a full grip. Just imagine doing that for, I was up until 5 o'clock, so I did it for about 10 hours without much stopping. I had an hour that I gave myself for lunch and stretching, but I wasn't stretching like I was supposed to. I didn't, ice my hands like I was supposed to. I did everything wrong yesterday, but I still was able to acquire a good procedural memory as far as the pistol reloads that I wanted and the pistol draw that I wanted, because everything felt right. Everything felt instinctive. I didn't have to think about it today when I was doing it on the range. The only thing was the reload, that one where I hit myself in the face. It's just like my hand collapsed, and even though the magazine was on, and it was on path, it's like it felt like my fingers stopped, doing their job a little too early. Like there was like a spasm or something in my hand, and that can happen every now and then if you're not careful, and you're not doing your stretches and you're wearing your forearms out too much. You need to be careful about that. So this is more of me just lecturing you to take care of yourselves. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pick up brass when everything gets, a little bit warmer out, because it's not even noon yet. But anyways, it's the first half of the day, and I'm going to omit all the PT that I was going to do, because my knees are not feeling good, my feet are not feeling good, and I don't want to cause an injury, because tomorrow is going to be movement training and basically practicing agility with gear on. So that's going to suck. So, it's not going to be going too fast, but, we'll talk about all that, and I'll make a video on agility using, the stuff that I'm doing tomorrow. So, hope you guys will attend that, but for the rest of the time, I'm just going to be chilling out, and then I'm going to collect brass, get the dogs out some more, but I think this is an appropriate end to the vlog. It's pretty much the biggest part of the day, just working on some technical skills. I might do these trigger pull reps again, just to kind of get myself in the habit of doing it and maintaining a good grip. But as far as like shooting, I'm pretty much done. I don't want to waste ammo on forming bad habits, because I probably will, because my hands aren't feeling all that great. But I appreciate you guys coming along. I know this is a long video, but everybody asks what I do, so this is what I do on some of my range days where I'm really trying to test my procedural memory, and unfortunately I screwed it up by being too hard on myself yesterday. So I wasn't able to see my full potential as far as like how fast I could get shots on target and stuff, because there was a lot of movement. So with all that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know if this is something that you actually like. I can do more in the future, and I'll take you guys along on an actual training day. One of these days, if you guys actually like it. But I appreciate you guys, and you guys have a good one.